Good morning, Summit County. My name is Roy Crawford, Superintendent of Schools, and I want to touch base on our opening of school next week, given the Omicron variant case elevation in Summit County. By the way, Happy New Year. I'm recording this on New Year's morning. I hope you and your families have had a great holiday season, and I really wish you the best for the new year. Last week, my leadership team met several times with Amy Wineland and the Summit County Department of Health and her team, and went through in detail all of the data and statistics and the best information we have around the Omicron variant in Summit County. And Amy made the point. She made two critical points. One is that schools are the safest public place in Summit County where people can congregate. And the other is their opinion as a health orientation that the best place kids need to be in school. They need to be with their teachers, they need to be with their peers, and they need to be engaged in active learning. The reason Amy Wineland said that she felt that it was the safest public place in Summit County because of the mitigation measures we've already taken and have been in place for almost a year and a half now. We have high quality air filters in all of our ventilation systems in every classroom and in every space in our buildings that we've been masking. And while I'm on everybody 100% as best we can, while we're on masking, I would really encourage parents to use for their children to use N95 or KN95 masks. They may not be as comfortable. It's a little bit harder to breathe with those masks, but they do offer up to 60% more protection against the moisture bits that carry the virus. We are going to also be providing and encouraging teachers to do the same, to wear N95 or KN95 masks. We also have a really high vaccination rate among our teaching and support staff, which is a huge mitigating factor, and we're encouraging our folks to get their booster shots as well. We do deep cleaning every day. We have provided screening, rapid testing to students and all of our staff, and we're really encouraging more families to take advantage of that, and we'll be sending you links on how to sign up for those weekly tests that are available for every child and every staff member. We really encourage and push hand washing, and I think I already mentioned the deep cleaning that we do every day. So those mitigation factors are critical for us to keep schools open and keep our schools and our employees safe. And while I'm talking about keeping people safe, it is absolutely essential that our employees are really conscious of those mitigation factors, and that without those employees, when I say that, I'm talking about our food service workers, our bus drivers, our custodians, our clerical workers, our paraprofessionals, our teachers. We need them in school, or we can't operate. Just like any business, without those folks, that we can't provide your children with a safe and viable experience. And so it's incumbent upon us to work with our staff and to understand what our staff needs are, because without them, we just wouldn't be able to stay open. And so that's going to be our main priority in the coming week. We're going to double down on our own mitigation strategies. And on Monday, as most of you as children have probably already heard, we will not be having any children in school on Monday. It'll be a staff-only day. And on that day, we're going to go over our mitigation strategies with our teachers. We're going to provide not just teachers, all of our staff will be providing all of our employees the opportunity on a rotating basis on Monday to be COVID tested, to do the COVID test within the school. So at least for their own peace of mind, they'll know where they stand. And identifying cases then helps us keep cases low within the schools. We will also, and again, in terms of staff availability, a critical thing we'll be doing Monday is determining where our people are with COVID and positive tests, both for our employees and with their families, because we don't know right now what our staff is experiencing. They're not in school, so we don't know who's tested positive, who has positive cases in their family, where they are in the 10-day sequence of isolation if they have tested positive. So Monday, we need to the best we can, nail that data down, so we know when students return on Tuesday, secondary only on Tuesday, by the way, we'll know where we stand in terms of employee availability. Also tomorrow we'll be working with staff. Of course, they're already doing it, but we really want to be a little more diligent about having quality substitute teaching plans, classrooms prepared for substitute teachers or alternative situations. That if we do have teachers and paraprofessionals in particular test positive, that we're able to transition to perhaps other folks working within those classrooms. The last thing I wanted to mention is last week, I think it was probably Thursday, I got maybe 40 to 50 emails. I didn't actually keep count, but for people with very passionate positions around what they felt the school should do. The vast majority of those were very civil, well thought out, strategic thinking kind of positions on whether we should have kids in school, whether we should close down the schools, whether we should go to online learning, whatever. And I respect all of those positions. And they really covered the gamut of what the possibilities were for us. The bottom line, and I respect that, and I just want to let those people know I'm not going to be responding to all of those emails. This message is my response, I guess. But again, the bottom line is we want to keep kids in school as much as we can. We want our kids to be with teachers and paraprofessionals and our staff. And that's what our focus is right now. And hopefully we can keep our staff healthy enough to be able to do that. So again, have a great New Year's weekend, and have a great 2022. Bye bye.